Welcome back to News 46. Chronic use of prescription pain medications known as opioids is increasing in the United States. Many patients who have not previously taken this type of medication are prescribed these drugs to help manage pain after surgery. A new study examined whether these patients are also at an increased risk for using opioids long term.
This health tip is brought to you by
Desert View Hospital and Mountain Valley Physicians Group. Don't put your health on hold. We have time for you. Call us to schedule your appointment. 775-751-7100.
Each day, thousands of surgeries are performed across the United States.
It's pretty normal to get a painkiller after you go home for your surgery and during your surgery.
What's not normal is to still be taking those pain medications many months after surgery. Dr. Eric Sun and his colleagues at the Stanford University School of Medicine reviewed the records of more than 641,000 patients who were not taking pain medication during the year prior to surgery. They had one of 11 common operations, including joint replacements, gallbladder removal, and C-sections during a 12-year period.
We wanted to see the year out after their surgery where they had increased risk of using opioids chronically compared to patients who didn't get surgery. Some opioid use is to be expected shortly after surgery, so we did exclude the first 90 days following their surgery.
Chronic use was defined as filling at least 10 prescriptions or more than 120 days worth of opioids during the first year after surgery.
Patients who didn't use opioid prior to surgery were at an increased risk for chronic opioid use following their surgery. The risks ranged from about 1.5 to 5 times, depending on the surgery. Overall, the risk is pretty low. It was about less than 1% for most of the surgeries we looked at.
Men and older patients were at an increased risk of chronic opioid use, along with patients with a history of certain medical conditions.
Patients who use benzodiazepines, that's a fairly common drug people use for anxieties, and also patients with a history of drug abuse and alcohol abuse are at high risk for chronic opioid use following their surgery.
Dr. Sun says physicians should be aware of this risk, even though the overall risk is small.
Physicians should closely monitor their surgical patients to see how much opioid they are or aren't taking, and just be aware that they may be at high risk for using opioids chronically.
Catherine Dolf, The JAMA Report.
Thank you, Catherine. Study authors say more research is needed to better manage the pain patients experience after surgery. The Pahrump Valley Chamber of Commerce held a ribbon cutting with the Elks Lodge Saturday at their location on Basin Avenue.
Good morning on this beautiful day. I'm Vicki Hilling. I'm from the Chamber of Commerce. We're here to congratulate the Pahrump Valley Elks Lodge on their ribbon cutting for their 20th year anniversary. This is John Letterly. And you got the scissors ready?
I got the scissors ready.
Okay. Go ahead and cut the ribbon.
Yay. The ribbon cutting is for us rejoining the Chamber of Commerce. We were members a few years ago and we just rejoined. And we are looking to promote our community relations and get our name out.
You had some of the Miss Senior Golden Years, Miss Senior Nye County pageant girls here today, too?
Yes, we did.
And how many members strong are you guys?
We're 350 members strong.
You're the exalted ruler.
Yes, I'm the exalted ruler. That is equivalent to the CEO or the president of the company.
Can you tell me a little bit about the Elks Lodge?
To become an elk has 2 requirements: that you believe in God and that you're an American citizen.
And you have to be sponsored, right?
Yes. The membership application requires a sponsorship, but we're looking for members, and calling the lodge will find somebody to sponsor you.
Do you need storage? Add a shed. That story in today's Angie's List.
You see it all the time. People parking their cars outside because their garage has too much stuff inside. If this is you, it might be time for a storage shed. In today's Angie's List report, Angie Hicks compares the kinds and costs of sheds so you can get that car back in the garage. There are basically 3 kinds of sheds: metal, wood, or vinyl. If you have the proper tools and the time to do it, you can build your own using a kit available at a lot of big box stores.
Prefabricated shed could be a good alternative if you're looking for a smaller shed, say up to like 10 by 14 in size. They can be less expensive, but also they may be not as durable as one built on site.
A 120 square foot custom shed will run you about $1,500. An experienced pro will ensure your shed is on a sturdy foundation and built to last in just a matter of hours.
You start with a good floor, because if your floor rots out, the rest of the shed is no good. I mean, I've replaced floors before, but that's a whole big process. And so the best thing to do is to take care of start with the floor, get a good, solid foundation and level, and then build up from there.
Make sure your builder uses treated lumber, galvanized nails, and 25-year shingles. If you plan to add a heat source, you'll need tar paper on the roof.
You want a pre-prime siding or pre-prime boards. When I make the doors, I pre-prime them even before I put them together. Before they're hinged and everything, I paint all the parts to them. So it's all a pre-prime building, and this way if water does and moisture gets in there, it's protected.
A well-built wood shed will add beauty, functionality, and value to your home. And experts tell Angie's List that stepping up to a vinyl shed for a couple $1,000s more will offer an even better return on investment. Before adding any kind of shed to your property, Angie says to get approval from your homeowners association. You may also need to get a building permit from your local township, city, or county. Extras like interior lighting, windows, or painting will cost you more, so ask about that before you hire. A well-built shed should easily last you 50 years or more. I'm Noah Began for News 46.
When we return, we're going to talk about what happened at the Speedway Saturday night.